the San Antonio Spurs are probably, to be real, the only chance to stop OKC from dominating this entire season. They're the only reason this is an interesting season, as they're the only team with a winning record over OKC, but they don't just have a winning record versus OKC. They're undefeated against them. They were 3-0. If this was a playoff series, they would be up 3-0 right now. And they are the only ones who can even remotely say that, okay? Because OKC dominates everybody else. OKC has a 30-7 record, and 3 of those are from the San Antonio Spurs. And the biggest reason is obviously because of this giant, huge man, this genetic abomination of a human. He's 7'6", crazy long arms, huge hands, giant cock. This man right here, Victor Wembanyama, the GOAT, okay? I don't know about the GOAT. But the reason I say the Spurs are probably the only reason that anyone has a chance to stop the OKC Thunder this year is because let's just break it down. The third seed, the Lakers, they're not doing nothing. Like, LeBron, look, I like to bounce on LeBron's meat as much as the next guy, okay? I gobble that shit up. I think he's the GOAT. Don't get me wrong. I will spread propaganda about the Lakers and LeBron James any given chance, especially if it's to an old person who's saying Michael Jordan's the GOAT, which he's not. But the Lakers ain't winning. Look, LeBron's too old. Austin Reeves is not good enough to be the third best player on a championship winning team, especially when they're trying to beat the Thunder. And Luka would have to drop like 50 a game, and that might not be enough because Shea's on the team, and he'll probably do that too. So the Lakers ain't doing shit. The Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic done fucked up his knee, and his 500-pound sumo wrestler ass, no telling if he's ever going to be the same now. Like, I know he's not an athletic fella, but still, once you start getting bad knees, things go downhill for big men usually, and he is quite a large man, if you haven't seen before. So, there's a very real chance he might not be the same, at least not for this season, even when he comes back, and no telling where they're going to be when he does come back, like how good or bad the record's going to be. So, the Nuggets are kind of up in the air. The Houston Rockets are led by Kevin Durant. That's all you need to hear. He can't win shit if he doesn't have Stephen Curry on his team. He has to join 15 MVP level players. He's not winning that. As much as I want White Chocolate Reed Shepherd to get a championship here, I'm not seeing that happening. I think they have a solid team, but they're going to get fucking swept by the Thunder, let's be honest. The Minnesota Timberwolves, no, absolutely not. Rudy Gobert's never winning a championship. The Phoenix Suns, stop. The Golden State Warriors, I mean, Steph Curry is 50. Draymond's getting ejected from every game. Jimmy Butler's 95. They're basically a geriatric home. They're not winning. And then the rest of them is just a whole bunch of helmet-wearing, thumb-sucking 3 IQ teams. No one else is winning after that. There's no point even talking about anybody else after that. And then you go to the East. Okay, maybe in the finals someone's going to get them. Stop it. That's a whole bunch of slow children fighting over a cookie. There's no one in the East beating the OKC Thunder in the finals. I love the Detroit Pistons. I like how they play. I think their future is very bright. They're not beating the OKC Thunder. I hope they make the finals. I bet on them to make the finals, but they're definitely not winning that shit. Boston is led by Jaylen Brown. No, that's not happening. New York Knicks, OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges is their second and third best players. No, that's not happening. Toronto Raptors is the 4th seed. That's all you need to know about the East. The Toronto Raptors are the 4th seed. The Raptors are 22-15. Absolutely not doing anything to the OKC Thunder. Like, I don't need no in-depth breakdown to tell you that the Thunder are a lot better than that. So really, there's only 2 teams in the East that can probably even, like, hold the Thunder's jockstrap, and that's the Knicks and the Pistons. And I don't think they have a chance. The Pistons would be the funnest matchup, but no, I just don't see that happening. So then that just brings us back to the Spurs, the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, and it all hinges on if this freak of nature alien can stay healthy. Because if he can stay healthy, he is the X factor. He's that good. The kid is probably going to go down as one of the best players of all time if he stays healthy. And the reason he's so impactful is, I mean, obviously because he's as tall as a twin tower, but also because he just makes such an impact on both sides of the ball. He has by far the biggest impact out of any player in the league on both sides of the ball. He can single-handedly lock down your team while also giving you 40. And then you add on top of the fact that they have like guys like Dylan Harper developing, who's probably going to be a superstar in the future. Stephon Castle's a beast. De'Aaron Fox is an all-star right now. And then they have just great depth all over the team. The Spurs have an excellent team, and they're led by probably the most impactful player in the league right now. And I just just think with 100% certainty that the Spurs give you the best matchup, because I think Wembanyama is not only one of the only people who can effectively match up with Chet Holmgren, but is one of the only players who plays like him, who's also significantly better than Chet. Like, Chet's a great player, but he is not even on the same planet as Victor Wembanyama, no pun intended. Okay, so I just think for sure that's a W of a matchup. De'Aaron Fox, although obviously not better than Shea, is good enough to hold his own with Shea. So, although not a wash by any means, it's not a blowout either, and they can definitely hold their own there. And then they're one of the only teams who can match up depth for depth rise. Like, Devin Vassell is a unbelievably good third player. Dylan Harper is a great sixth man. Carter Bryant hasn't even really gotten minutes yet. They just have so much talent and so much depth on this roster. I didn't even mention Keldon Johnson. Like, that's how deep this team is. They have so much talent. Like, Vassell is probably one of the most underrated players in the entire league. And with them just having this much depth, they can match OKC band for band, which almost no other team can do. They have the best player on the court, which almost no team has a better player than Shea. And I would say the Spurs have a more, at least, impactful player with Victor Wembanyama when he's on the floor. And it really just comes down to his health. If Victor Wembanyama is healthy, the Spurs have a chance to win that series, in my opinion. Now, obviously, if he's not, they're going to get destroyed. But, like, even if, like, someone like Dylan Harper isn't playing or, like, Vassell gets hurt, I still think they have a chance, although a very slim one. But I think as long as Victor Wembanyama can play in the playoffs, I mean, I see no reason why they can't. They're up 3-0 right now in the regular season series. I think they have one more game to play each other. And, I mean, if they sweep them in the regular season, that at least is proof of, like, the concept of them being able to beat them in a series of 4 games. Like, obviously it's not back-to-back-to-back, but still, trust me, the Thunder are a very scrappy and hardworking team, and they don't like to lose. They tried very hard, especially that third game. They wanted to win that very badly, and they just could not do it. And I think that's because the Spurs, one, match up very well, and also that they just don't have an answer for Wembanyama. So I do think that the Spurs are the only hope in hell to stop the OKC Thunder from hitting the Infinity Stone. Like, they're about to snap it. They're so close, but they're the Iron Man trying to hold on and stop him from being able to snap it, right? Like, they're the last hope. Iron Man better not get clapped like he did in Infinity War, because they're the last hope. If the Spurs can't stay healthy, or if the OKC Thunder figure out how to beat the Spurs, that's going to be probably like the next 3-4 years of not interesting basketball. Like, it's just going to be OKC all day, every day. Now, like, the Pistons could in the future add a superstar somehow, like maybe trade Ron Holland and Jaden Ivey and a lot of picks and get a star, or they can sign one in free agency, or Boston can get Jason Tatum back, maybe add another piece, and they can compete again. But still, I would say OKC is probably going to be better than all those teams. They're going to have more chemistry. They're going to be playing at an all-time level. Like, it's going to be very hard to deal with that. I think this is our last hope, and I am hoping that the Spurs do get to play them in the playoffs, because I think that would be one of the most entertaining, absolute cinema of a game. But this freak, this guy right here, like I said earlier, huge meat, probably unbelievably big meat. He needs to lay it on the court, right in midcourt, assert his dominance, and be like, no, Shea, this is my league now. This is me. This is Wemby's league now. Goodbye, Shea. He needs to do that, or the league is fucked. Okay? And hopefully he can do that. I'm rooting for the Spurs. Back in the day, I was a Spurs fan. I'm currently a Pelicans fan, so I'm suicidal. But back in the day, I was a Spurs fan. Okay? So I'm bringing back the roots. Going back in time here to when I was like 10 years old, and I'm once again rooting for them. Okay? This is it. We need this to happen. I'm rooting for you. I really want it to happen. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Spurs are the only chance? Do you think any other team somehow has a chance? I don't think so. But maybe. Maybe you think one of these helmet-wearing, wall-running into teams have a chance. Please comment below if you do. If you disagree with me, comment below. If you'd like to hit a point, the like button, subscribe button, mean the world to me. And that's going to be it. Peace.